On a white background, the CCD logo appears. Council of Canadians with Disabilities, a voice of our own, presents a series entitled Know Your Rights. The title disappears and the scene shifts to two women seated in a library in front of a rack of books. Join us now for a conversation between Yvonne Peters, a retired human rights lawyer and co-chair of the CCD Disability Justice Litigation Initiative, and Deborah Patterson, theater, arts, and disability justice advocate. New title appears, Taking Action.
So if my rights as a disabled person have been violated, what can I do?
You can take action. I mean, everybody has a choice. You can say, it was a small matter, I'm not going to do anything about it. But if it's really something that's affected your life, I would encourage people to take action. And the best way to do that is to go to your Human Rights Commission that's in your area. Every province, every territory, and at the federal level has a Human Rights Commission. They generally have intake people, and you can talk to them. I would encourage people, though, before they do that, to write down as much as they can about what happened. Where did it happen? What was the issue? What were you denied? Who did the denying? What time was it? What day was it? Are there people around? And so you have your details. You need those details to prove that you were discriminated against. I would encourage people to do that. You might want to approach somebody to assist you. It's not hard, but it can be emotionally difficult. So you might want to have some support going with you. But I would encourage people to take that step.
And so what's the process once you file a complaint? What happens?
Yeah, that's a very good question. The first thing you're going to hear from people is it takes so long to resolve. And when a person's been discriminated against, it can be very hurtful. It can take a lot out of you. It's very emotional. You want a quick answer. I know what it's like. I've filed complaints. I've been discriminated against. I just want it resolved right now. Unfortunately, that's hard to do. I wish we could find better systems. Let's work on that. But right now, what you would do is that you would put all of your details down on a complaint form. If you have trouble writing, I suggest that you ask the commission, somebody at the commission, to help you record them. So that's the first step. And you make sure that all that you've related is related to your disability, your race, your gender, whatever the ground is that you think you've been discriminated against. The next step then is that complaint gets served, as they say. It's sent to the business or the government that has discriminated against you to say, this is a complaint we've received. What is your response? There are timelines for responding. So then that entity will respond and say, well, they misunderstood, or whatever their excuse is. Or they might say, oh, we didn't understand. We think we agree, we shouldn't behave this way. Let's try to resolve this and let's settle this complaint. Or, as I say, they can resist. Then an investigation takes place, looking at all the facts, looking at all the details, and then the investigator determines whether or not, as they say legally, on a balance of probabilities. That just means, did the complaint happen, or was it likely to have happened? And once they determine, if they determine that the complaint there has been discrimination, then you hope that there's a settlement, that the entity that discriminated against you says, yes, we're sorry, and here's how we can solve this problem. Or if they don't, then it goes to a hearing. Now, not all complaints go to a hearing. They do get settled. So it does take a while. I know it's frustrating, but here's the thing. Pretty much everything in law takes a long time. It's not just human rights. So I encourage, again, as I said many times, we won't make change. It takes a long time, but we have to keep working at it.
Right. So it seems like there might not be, there's a lot of aggravation and stress involved in filing a complaint.
It can be, yes.
And the rewards are slow to come.
Unfortunately, I think that's right, yes.
But it's still worth it.
When I got involved in human rights some 40-odd years ago, people with disabilities had no rights. there was nowhere, no place we could go if we felt like we'd been discriminated against. So, for example, if I encountered discrimination in seeking employment, there was really not much I could do. 40 years may seem like a long time, but in fact, it's only been a short while that people with disabilities have actually had their rights recognized. Prior to that, we were recipients of charity, we were clients, we were patients, we were managed, we were protected, but nobody thought that people with disabilities actually had rights. So I think it's very important in how we understand people with disabilities and understand, our capacity to be in this world, to take our position, take our role within society and participate. And so it really is a transformational symbol that says, we've moved from charity to rights. I think people look at you differently when you say you're a rights holder as opposed to needing charity. When you think back to the days when we didn't have any legal rights, where we couldn't take that step, now we can. So, we have it, we should use it.
End credits appear over a white background. Know Your Rights. A conversation between Yvonne Peters and Debbie Patterson. Series producers Yvonne Peters, Debbie Patterson, April Dobbin, and Heather Walkus. Videographer Leif Norman. Audio description Corey Stuvey. Closed captioning Nettle Media. ASL Sign Language Interpretation. Editing and post-production Eric Nettle. Funded with support from the Canadian Bar Association. Law for the Future Fund. Their logo appears. The CCD logo appears again. Copyright CCD 2024, all rights reserved. Fade to black.